What's up, y'all? It's Elijah Boy. Let me talk to you. As you all are aware, obviously, Hulk Hogan has passed away. And this is a very hard video for me to do. It's very complicated because I know whatever I say could potentially make a lot of people angry. And I know that's his whole career. It's a very complicated legacy. Um, we do know, obviously, without question, that he is the most influential professional wrestler of all time. And if it wasn't for him body slaying Andre the Giant, we all probably wouldn't be watching wrestling now. We don't really know how the wrestling world would have looked had there not been a Hulk Hogan. And he's done a lot of things that has captivated audiences around the world. He has achieved a lot of success in this business that we all love. And it's very hard considering all of his misdeeds and controversies he's had, with the racist remarks, the him burying talent, and of course, obviously, the apparently there was a union situation that he costed the wrestlers a union by telling on, what was it, Jesse Ventura to Vince, and that's put a stop to everything too. And it's just there's a lot of things he's done that hasn't really helped him, in the long run. But it's such a complicated legacy. But obviously, we can't ignore the elephant in the room. I ain't gonna sit here and act like I'm a perfect person, because trust me, trust me when I say I'm not perfect in any way. And I'm not gonna be one of, like, most people on the internet where they pretend like they're these perfect beings, and whenever somebody made, well known in the public eye, said something or done something, people are like, "Oh, they're terrible," because the people in these comments aren't terrible, right? The only difference is between them and you is that people know what they've done. I mean, imagine if everything we've said was brought up to everyone. There'd be a lot. But at the same time, obviously, I don't condone the bad behavior, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm perfect. But at the same time, I will address the fact Hulk Hogan has brought joy to my life. I ain't gonna act like he hasn't. I remember, when I was given, as a Christmas gift, the history of the WWE Championship. I saw all of the major Hulk Hogan matches that most people bring up, like Hulk Hogan versus the Iron Sheik. Hulk Hogan, how to break your back and make you humble. I'm gonna do this for America, brother. I'm gonna go, all that stuff. He beat the Iron Sheik, and then the match that pretty much catapulted WWE and WrestleMania as a whole, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant, when he picked him up for the body slam. It was like, it's still a cool visual even to this day. Of course, Hogan versus the Macho Man, yeah. One of my favorite things about the Hogan Macho Man thing was Macho Man's promo before it, where I'm sure you all have seen it, where he was like, "Ooh, Hogan, I see no pukesters to the left of me, yeah. No pukesters to the right." Hulkamania. It's just the way that was put together was crazy. I loved it. The mega powers, they did the handshake, Macho Man and Hogan, and you were like thinking there was, I was imagining like real life electricity, like the it was like the coolest thing. Man, don't even get me started on the Hogan Warrior match at WrestleMania. What was it? What WrestleMania was that? 8? Was that 9? 8? What was that one? Was it 6? I can't remember. I cannot remember which WrestleMania it was, but it was Hogan versus Warrior, right? That match was fun. I love that match. It wasn't the traditional pro wrestling match, but that match was fire, bro. Just, Warrior running to the ring, and then you know what I mean, and then Hogan, both of them doing their comebacks. But obviously, we can't forget about the NWO. I don't have the black and white. At some point, I should get the black and white shirt, but I have the Wolf Pack here. Hogan on screen turning his back on the fans and them throwing trash in the ring. The NWO wouldn't have gotten as big if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan. Like, let's keep it a band, bro. We're not gonna sit here and lie. But and then of course he had the match with Vince McMahon. I'll never forget that one. Obviously, Goldberg and Hogan. I don't want to skip over that, but yeah, Goldberg beating Hogan. Then, of course, Hogan going on to face Vince McMahon. We can't forget the obvious. I almost forgot. See, it's still early when I record this. Sorry. Hogan versus The Rock. That match, bruh, the atmosphere was just, you know what I mean? Like, whoa. Is all I have to say. If you have never seen that one, I would recommend to go watch that. We didn't get Hogan versus Austin. I would have loved to see how that match would have went. But anyway, or even Hogan versus Cena. That would have been something to think about. I don't know how that would work, but anyways, yeah, Hogan versus Vince McMahon. Of course, Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels. You all remember how that match went. But his debut in TNA, still a little awkward to talk about that one. I still laugh at the fact, in hindsight, believe it or not, before Hulk Hogan passed, I was planning on watching the night he debuted on TNA because they have it on their YouTube channel, and I wanted to watch it with y'all on the channel. I was going to do like a watch along, and I might still do it. Who knows? I'll let you guys know when that happens, but it was the night where he debuted and the WWE countered with bringing back Bret Hart. But I was excited more to watch that episode than WWE. TNA had like Jeff Hardy, all these people pop up, and in hindsight, it didn't help them, but it was a cool night to me regardless. As a 14-year-old wrestling fan at the time, when Hulk Hogan was like, "I've been in the back all day, talking to the young guys." And I'm like, we literally showed you for like half the show making it to the arena. So that was like very awkward, but it was funny. I don't know what it was funny to me because it was like, wait, did you just arrive? What do you mean you were talking in the back all day? But it was stuff like that that was like so funny. But with all that being said, complicated, yes. Undeniable, yes. On both sides of the spectrum. At the end of the day has ended. That makes no sense. I'm sorry. This is. I suck at doing these, bro. At these videos, bro. I can't be serious for 5 minutes, bro. That was very difficult for me. That is so dumb. I don't know what that means. Oh my god. At the end of the day has ended. I don't know why that's funny to me. That makes no sense. But in all seriousness, though, golly, Elijah. Good grief. At the end of the day has ended. With that being said, Hulk Hogan will go down as one of the most influential pop culture icons of all time, whether you love him or you hated him. I'm not that type of person. I will say this on the way out. I'm not that type of person. I ain't celebrating the man's passing. That's not me. That will never be me, and I don't care how anyone feels about it. That's something I will stand on, for real, for real. My morals won't let me think like that, and it hurts me that there are a lot of people who have that mindset of when they're happy about someone passing away. To me, it just doesn't feel right with me. And I will never be that person, and I don't care how people feel about it. But with all that being said, hug your loved ones, y'all. Hug your friends. Let everybody know how much everyone you close to you, how much you love them, how much you care for them, because time don't wait for nobody. And he has done a lot, and he's definitely someone who has brought me good moments in my life I'll never forget. With all that being said, I hope you all have a great day. If I made you mad, oh well, live with it. If I made you smile, I'm very grateful to do that because that's all I ever try to do. And with that being said, I hope you all have a safe and happy day. So, love y'all. See you soon.